Whether you know it as Sasquatch or Bigfoot, there is evidence that points to the existence of an enormous creature, half man, half ape. It could be the elusive missing link. Anthropologists are studying footprints, handprints, and now a new film exclusive to Sightings that appears to some to be authentic. Serious researchers won't give up their quest for proof that Bigfoot is a living, breathing creature stalking the woods of North America. Sightings has brought you startling footage before, and now a surge in reports brings new information about this elusive monster. There are new eyewitness accounts, plaster footprints, photographs, and this exclusive videotape.
This is the most compelling evidence to date that there is a Sasquatch.
Researchers have now discovered what they believe is a pattern of Bigfoot activity, concentrated in eastern Washington state near the Idaho border. With over 50 sightings in the past year, local police here take Bigfoot reports seriously. One officer, Michael Bisbee, took us to the site of his own encounter.
Early evening, about 6:30, 7 o'clock, I was on patrol in an area known as McCormick Ridge. And this big black object was walking away from me, walking into the timber. I really didn't know what it was.
I didn't really get a good look at him. He was running so fast. There's no human could run that fast.
My boss got nervous, you know, and after we started working again, he was worried about it trying to sneak around and trying to come, you know, do something to us, you know. Sneak attack us is what he said.
Based on the high concentration of sightings here, our investigative team mounted an expedition into the area, headed by researcher Cliff Crook. Cliff and his partner Dean Smith believe that only a small, unobtrusive team would have any chance of capturing a Bigfoot on film. It was just this kind of expedition, led by Roger Patterson in 1967, that resulted in a startling piece of evidence. This 16mm film is believed to be the only authenticated Bigfoot footage to date. Patterson's partner, Bob Gimlin, was there.
When we came upon the creature, it was standing still by the creek. It immediately turned around and started to walk away. There is no way that this could ever be falsified or any man could be in a suit because of the movement of the muscle underneath the hair.
The Patterson film is the second best evidence after some footprints.
Professor Grover Krantz heads the anthropology department at Washington State University. His scholarly research concludes that Bigfoot is real.
This is one of the most interesting ones. It's a 14.5-inch track. It shows what we call dermal ridges, the little fingerprint type ridges. And these have been studied by police fingerprint experts, and no one's found any flaw in any of them. This one is the imprint of some knuckles of the right hand. You can see it's substantially larger than my hand, and this is the thumb over here. The individual apparently stumbled, hit the hand on the ground, and left the imprint, and the cast was made of those 4 digits curled around, and the 5th digit, the thumb, coming out to the side. Right here is the thumbnail, the edge of the thumbnail.
Professor Krantz divides his research time between lab study and expeditions into the field. He is constantly searching for new evidence to support his theories. His findings indicate that Bigfoot is nocturnal, a creature of the night. Sightings brought a specially equipped starlight filter into the research area. We hope that this night vision feature would increase our chances of finding an actual Bigfoot. Unfortunately, bad weather forced us to end the investigation before any sightings occurred. Soon after our team left the area, an anonymous videotape arrived with a Washington State postmark. There are those who believe this is actual footage of a small, possibly female Bigfoot. The creature appears in 2 sections of this VHS tape. The tape is played in its entirety. Here, the supposed Bigfoot moves behind some trees and then, unexpectedly, turns toward the camera. Washington-based photo analyst Mike Stusser studied this videotape for Sightings.
The most compelling evidence in the tape is as simple as a head turn. In hoaxes, you see an animal that may be someone in a suit move with their head and their neck, and real Bigfoot specimens would move as a gorilla with their entire torso, and their head would move similarly.
The typical ape posture has the shoulders carried very high and the mouth and the jaw is lower than the shoulder. So if an ape wants to turn its head, its jaw runs into its shoulder. The creature that Patterson watched turned its head, and then the shoulder went with it, in what just as what you would expect with an ape.
In the Patterson footage, you can see that the animal's walking straight forward, but then when he turns to see the cameraman, his entire body, his torso and all, moves up and to the right. Here in the most recent Washington footage, you've got the animal crouched in a clearing here, and then as it starts to look towards the camera person, its entire torso comes up and to the left. Its whole body, not just the neck, but up and to the left. Very similar to the Patterson footage.
Is this evidence of the legendary missing link? Experts are divided, but they all continue to gather evidence. Although there is no proof positive that Bigfoot exists, to many the circumstantial evidence is overwhelming, and researchers remain dedicated to finding that one piece of hard evidence that will finally lay the controversy to rest. Joining us now is Richard Greenwell, Secretary for the International Society of Cryptozoology. Richard has conducted numerous expeditions in search of Bigfoot and the Loch Ness Monster. Richard, thanks for joining us. You've had a chance to look now at the new Bigfoot footage. What do you make of it? Is it the real thing or a hoax?
I'd say probably a hoax. For one thing, the supposed creature looks very much like a costume to me. Its gait and movement is wrong. The gait is very human-like, and the movement is very slow.
What else would you need to see to be sure that one exists?
Well, the only evidence that's going to convince the zoologists and the anthropologists is physical remains, bones, or a part of an animal, or a complete animal, dead or alive. That's the bottom line.
Is there any sort of photographic evidence or videotape evidence that you would find persuasive?
If there was film footage that was in conjunction with extremely good eyewitness testimony from reliable people, then that would be a very strong case. Otherwise, when it's a videotape that comes in, you don't know who took it or it's questionable, has very little value.
If you were a betting man, Richard, what would you say the odds are that there is a Bigfoot?
Well, I may get into trouble for this, but I'd say, in my opinion, based on all the evidence I've looked at and the 3,000 reports, I would say that the odds are just over 50% that there is a living Sasquatch or Bigfoot.
Richard Greenwell, thank you very much for being with us. And we will be back with more sightings in just a moment.